Listen to this email from a listener, unsigned. She says, Tom, I had a friend with privileges, and we hooked up a few times, and I was straight with him that it was just about the sex. Just sex. I explained that I was not looking for a relationship. I have no time for such foolishness. I also explained that there was no implied or expected exclusiveness. Now that he heard that I joined a dating website for other people just looking for a good time, he's acting all hurt and says that he thought we had more. I have other girlfriends that this same scenario has played out for, and it sucks. Why is it that when women just want to bang, that the guys turn into little girls and want romance? Some of us just want a good roll in the hay to take the edge off while going about our busy schedules. It's unsigned. You know, I'm going to give you the answer, because there is an answer to this, and that does not excuse the behavior of the guys who act this way, but I'm going to explain it, and I'll bet that it's the same answer for women. Number one, we all want what we can't have. If you're insisting on marriage, you're insisting on a relationship, we just want sex. If you just want sex, we wonder what? We aren't good enough? I had an ex who used to brag to me that she was able to go out with guys who spent a lot of money on her and took her to expensive restaurants. And she used to brag all the time, about how she could go to these expensive restaurants, have great nights out, go to, expensive benefits and go out, hang out with celebrities and whatever she did. And then she never had to put out. She bragged about it to her friends, even bragged about it to me. But she said there was one approach that a guy used that was most effective. A guy came to her on the first date and he said, no matter what you say, we are not going to have sex. That was his entire approach. And my ex said to him, what do you mean we're not going to have sex? What, am I not good enough for you? And you see, I think that's what's going on here with our letter writer. That the guy is only upset because he's being told he can't have something. And when you're told you can't have something, suddenly you want it more than anything in the world. And again, that does not excuse his behavior. Now me, I had this figured out quite some time ago, and here's how I feel about this. I want to be the guy you just want to have the roll in the hay with. Because I know the guy you want to have the relationship with may not be as sexually appealing as you think I am. And in order to have a relationship with you, he's going to have to pay for everything. He'll have to possibly marry you. He'll have to take you out to expensive meals. Maybe he'll have to sire your children and then have to pay the cost of having them. The more flattering position to be in is when a woman only wants me for the sex. Wanting me for whatever skills or money I can provide, I'm not flattered by that. I'd much rather be the guy you want because you want me like an animal. You want me for the sex. I would be more than happy to be wanted for the sex and then have you go off and find a serious relationship with Poindexter somewhere, that dork who will pay for everything. And to be completely honest and upfront with you, I have had relationships with people who did get involved with Poindexter and continued to have a roll in the hay with me on the side. because Poindexter couldn't get it done to the sack. Loved it. Gotta be honest, loved it. Would not love being the guy you depend upon for a relationship. So I don't understand these guys. And women, too, by the way, they just can't accept when it's really good. Another one of the reasons I've been so down on marriage and relationships, you know, people just can't accept the idea that something's good and leave well enough alone. I've had more than one chick in my life who you would call a cool chick. You know. She really did like what I liked, okay? She liked going to hockey games. She liked baseball. She liked going to jazz at the Hollywood Bowl in the summertime. She liked drinking wine. She liked traveling. She paid her own bills. You know, when we went away, she laid down the platinum card, blah, blah, blah. When we saw each other, it was nothing but fun. We laughed together. We stayed up late. We got buzzed together. We were just having fun. Now, in my male mind, I'm thinking to myself, this is great. I mean, I don't know how long I keep doing this, but I can't foresee an end to it. It's just so good. But in more than one case, a woman who has this relationship with me where it's just fun, just nothing but fun, will come back at me later and say that they feel something's missing. You know, if we moved in together or if we got married, things would be ever so much better than they are today. And it's like, why do you want to ruin a good thing? Aren't you enjoying what we have? Well, yes, I enjoy what we have, and I know you enjoy what we have, but I just can't help feeling that something's missing. It's like, let me understand. You're having fun. You like me. We enjoy the time we spend together. We have a lot of things in common. We laugh a lot. And that's not enough. You know, even if it's not enough, even if what you ultimately want is to get married, settle down, have children, and live happily ever after, until you find that person, why would you walk away from something that's a good thing today? I think back on how many women walked away from me. They didn't have an alternative. They didn't. Or they had an alternative. I've had more than one. So if you think you're the one, don't call me and tell me you know I was talking about you, because there are several of you. I've had more than one. We're having nothing but fun. Sex is great. Everything's great. We're having a good time. Who suddenly call me one day, and I've talked about this on the air before. They suddenly call me one day and they say, well, I've met someone else, and he loves me. Unlike you, he loves me. And I think someday he'll marry me, and so I can't see you anymore. Don't call this number anymore. Don't call me, don't write me, because I've met the love of my life, and he's not you. Okay, goodbye. Later on, we find out that Mr. Perfect said I love you in order to poach said female from me. And it turned out it wasn't really love at all. It was just the guy doing whatever he had to do to get laid. By the way, I don't blame him for doing that, though I don't recommend it to the guys who call in. He did what he had to do to get laid. But, you know, it's like that old parable about the dog who has the bone, who's crossing over the bridge, and he looks down in the water and he sees a dog with a bone. And he wants the bone the other dog has, and so he rushes in to get it and drops the bone he has, and now he has no bone. Have you ever heard that parable? Probably not. Anyway, I've been with women who were having a perfectly good time with me, but they felt they needed some kind of a commitment. And the first guy who comes along and says, I love you, marry me, or whatever, they jump. And by the way, I can't tell you how many of these women call me later. Months, years later. One woman, 5 years later. You were always so much fun. We always had fun. I don't know why I did that. And it was always so much fun with you. We always had such a good time, you know. I mean, you're funny, and we laughed all the time, and we got buzzed, and we watched music, and it was fun. And I don't know why I went with him. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why. Jesus. Are you with somebody right now who's trying to ruin a good thing? Have you been with somebody recently who ruined a good thing? My God, I think about the people I knew, you know, they'd cut. Ever have a chick, guys? Think about this. Ever have a chick, you know, you're sitting up at 11 o'clock at night. You think the night's over. It's Tuesday night. You're playing video games or you're watching sports or something. Phone rings. Thought I'd come over. Then she does, and an hour and a half later, you have had sex like to within an inch of your life. Then she says, oh, you know what, I got to work tomorrow, puts her panties on, gets the hell out, and there you are, just out of breath, and sprawled across your bed going, that was fantastic. She loved it, I loved it, there was no downside there. How often do you find yourself with a person like that, and then later on they tell you, something's missing, something's wrong. They ruin a good thing. Have you ever been with someone who wanted to ruin a good thing, or maybe someone who did ruin a good thing? I want to know. Call me right now.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Let me just tell you what my big beef with you is, okay? Your advice.
I got the big beef for you right here, dear.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Have you had the experience of being with someone who couldn't leave well enough alone? They just want to ruin a good thing? It's Tom on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, I had the life of Riley. I met this gal. She was a masseuse. I spent a week with her at her place that her ex paid for. We had great sex. She cooked great. And then all weekend long, I'm out. I play a lot of tournament softball, and I'm gone all weekend long doing my thing. And I'd be back maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday. She didn't want to go out, and she was just beautiful. And life couldn't be better. Then, well, you know, I'm going to need kind of a commitment because my alimony runs out. Oh, honey.
So she was like telling you she wants money.
Well, yeah, not from me. She's not getting it from me. What am I, an idiot?
I can't believe she was that upfront about it.
God, I had like the greatest year of my life. What a waste.
So did you dump her right there?
Yeah, you know, I wasn't going to commit to her and her kids. No, that's not happening.
That was never in the cards.
No, it's not part of my plan. I'm wrong guy.
So how did you tell her?
Well, she's pretty upset. I tell her, you know, you got your family. Maybe I want to want my own. I don't know. This just isn't going to be for me. You got problems with your ex. This is not what I want. I like what we have.
And what did she say to that?
Well, she needed more than that. But yeah, exactly. The classic line. She needed more. She needed a financial commitment.
Great. And you got what you needed to get. You got out, and now she has to find somebody else. And she probably had no time left.
I don't know about that. Yeah, she did say something about her alimony running out or whatever. God, it was so good though when it was going.
Yeah, isn't it always?
Yeah. Well, keep up the good work.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate the call. We're talking about the people who just want to ruin a good thing. You got a good thing going. You got a good thing going. James on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom.
Yes.
Hi. So I've been with this girl for about 6 weeks now, and things were going great. I wasn't getting tons of text messages. I wasn't getting phone calls. Just, she comes over when I get off of work, and she comes over to my apartment. She happens to live nearby. And, I thought, this is going well. I'm not being harassed. I'm not being forced into taking her out to any expensive meals. This is just fun. And then last night, I get a phone call saying, hey, I think I might be holding you back from your single life. Maybe we should, not hang out and hang out as often. I said, no, you're not holding me back. I'm having a great time. And so what are you trying to say? You don't want to hang out anymore or what? And she's like, no, I'm trying to say the exact opposite. So basically, we concluded that she's looking for a guy who's wants to be exclusive and eventually get into a relationship. So I basically put it to her, that's the exact opposite of what I'm looking for.
How did she react to that?
Oh, my God. It was like, I could tell it over the phone. You could hear the tears. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry that I let you down, but what can I say? I'm enjoying my single life. I've got my apartment. I've got my job. I'm loving it. So you either take it or leave it.
There was one point when I was an immature little baby, and I was afraid, she's going to cry. I don't like it. Handle that. Now I love it.
Hey, you know what, Tom? It takes about a week of listening to your show and maybe a past experience with a girl that completely ruined your life. And who gives a who cares if they're crying? It makes absolutely no difference.
That's right.
It makes absolutely no difference.
It does make a difference. I want the crying. I want to know that I made an impact on your life forever.
Hey, I like that. That's well put. It's one of those things where there's no reason for any remorse. So you got to put yourself first.
I totally agree with that, and I really appreciate your call. Thank you so much for that. Wow. That's what I want. I want the tears. I want the crying. I want to know that the pain I'm causing you is going to last a lifetime. I want to know that I have hurt you in a way that nobody else could, because you never liked anybody as much as you like me. When I dumped you, it really hurt badly. I'd rather it hurt badly than that it didn't matter. I want you crying. When I dump you, I want you to feel pain. I want to see the look in your eyes as I walk out the door. I want you to beg me. I want you to threaten me. I want you to threaten to kill yourself. I want it all. That's what I want. Big crocodile tears. That's how I know I did it right. I got you to love me, and then I cut you off at the knees. Love it. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. This is Lewis on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Great.
Cool. I was with this chick a couple years ago. We were pretty close. We'd known each other for a while. We'd known each other for about 5 years, and finally we started dating, hanging out. It was the best of times. We were banging like crazy. And it just happened after maybe 3 or 4 months. She all of a sudden started saying, I feel like something's missing, exactly like you said. And what happened, I hadn't been calling her my girlfriend or anything. She said it was that. And after that, things would just start going downhill. She was always like, I don't know, it's like they're made to not enjoy it forever. I don't know what's wrong with that, but...
Oh, boy.
It's just horrible. And so, yeah, I ended up staying with her. I sort of backed off away from her because she wasn't putting out as much. She started sort of wimping and sort of wanting to cry. I still didn't break up with her because I was, like, immature back then. I had barely started listening to your show, like, 1 week after I broke up with her. And, one week before I broke up with her. And so, yeah, finally I broke up with her. It wasn't as dramatic as you probably would have loved it, but it was still there. It still felt good.
Did you get tears?
I'm sorry?
Did you get tears at least?
It got tears, but it wasn't as suicidal. I got a couple tears. I'm pretty sure of that. But, yeah.
I love the threats of suicide. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I didn't get that, but wasn't that fortunate, but maybe I will someday.
Oh, I've gotten it. And you say to them, well, you know what? It's not my fault you're killing yourself, but if you feel you need to do it, have at it.
Oh, really? What do they actually do it?
They never do it.
You're serious?
Well, they try it on you, and they see if it'll work.
All right.
Oh, when they're crying, I'm telling you, Lewis, when you experience your first experience with a woman openly weeping, you're going to love it.
All right, I'll trust you on that.
Oh, I would say that's a goal in life.
All right, got
Make them love you and then cut them off at the knees.
Cool. All right. Could you take me out with the African style? Please?
African tribal style. Here you go. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. JP on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Great.
I love your show. And I want to tell you that you make me very happy that I don't have to deal with women. Very much. But I'm calling to tell you about a situation that I was in, actually, as the person that ruined a good thing. I was dating someone when we first started college, and we were best friends, and that developed into a hookup. And I pretty much got too attached, and as soon as I said something about having some emotion, then they started hooking up with other people, and I started getting jealous, and pretty much destroyed one of the best friendships and hookups that I ever had.
Really?
Yeah. So,
listen to you.
So it's not a good idea. You should just live in the moment and have fun and enjoy it while you can.
Well, that's how I feel about it. I mean, you know, why do you care if she doesn't love you, if she doesn't want to if there's no strings attached and all she wants is to get laid, take it as the compliment that it is.
Yes, exactly.
But you weren't able to do it.
Nope. I learned from that, like I said, you need to just live in the moment, but that was before I matured to this point, so.
Are you enjoying the criers now?
Oh, yes, now I know how to have fun and just, and now, you know, I have about 3 people that I'm all banging on the side, so, cool.
Sounds good. Listen to you giggling over there.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm enjoying some herbal treats.
Oh, you're enjoying herbal treats right now, are you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I forgot it was 420.
Yeah, it is, actually. It's tough.
All right, well, it's been just... Well, by the way, attention advertisers, you too can reach this prime demographic. Thank you, JP. Appreciate the call. Rob on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How's it going, bud?
It's going great.
Listen, I got to ask you, man, what is wrong with the advice you're giving? I understand the demographic you guys are shooting for, but asking girls to commit suicide because you're just taking a guess whether or not they will or won't? I mean,
well, first of all, don't misquote me, because I never said that I asked girls to commit suicide. What I said is that they have threatened to commit suicide.
You're insinuating is what you're doing, and, you know, I mean, I've been there.
Insinuating what? I'm insinuating what? What am I insinuating?
What's that, sir?
What am I insinuating?
You're insinuating that you want the worst of them. You want them to be down. And
I am not insinuating it. I am stating it openly.
All right, listen, Tom, let's get past the suicide comment.
Do you know what the word insinuate means? You don't even know what the word means.
The demographic you think
I wasn't insinuating anything. I was spelling it out.
They're a lot smarter than you give them credit for. I think they're actually smart.
What?
Everybody gets hurt every now and then, but why? You know, who cares, man? Why do you want everybody to just be in pain? Why not just be happy, man?
Because, again, lots of chicks are going to start making demands, and the best way to keep them from making demands is to chop them off at the knees.
To play games? Really? Is that the way? Because, you know, I've always had good relationships.
No, it's not a matter of playing games, but when they start making demands, you have to act accordingly.
Well, you know, I've been down there, too, man. I've been wanting to kill myself back in the past. I had a girl.
Boo-hoo-hoo. But there you are, zero-tolerance policy, you moron. You're out! Yeah, couldn't use it. Such an articulate arguer, he couldn't avoid using the S word on the air. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Let's say hi to Jonathan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom? Big fan.
Doing great.
Good stuff, man. Hey, I got a story for you, buddy.
All right.
This girl, I was performing at this theater company over in Tucson, and this girl comes up to me, and she starts hearing me talk about sex. We're talking like in a group and everything, and she kind of, catches my, I catch her eye and everything, and she gets really interested. In about a week, I got her in the sack and everything, and within a month, she starts telling me that she fell in love with me, she can't live without me, she can't. Pretty much, she's just all over me already. And turns out, her friend was much harder than her, and I ended up seeing her at a party, and I ended up banging her friend later on. So, this girl, after, she told me she fell in love with me, she starts carving into her arm because she feels like, crap. And she carves into her arm with a razor blade, fat and ugly. And I see her the next morning at the theater show, with a big sash on her arm. It's like, what happened, And she said, you don't love me anymore, and blah, 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 and this and that. And big, big gashes of fat and ugly in her arm, man. What do you think about that?
I love it. Did you love it?
Oh, man, believe me, I loved it, man. And you know what? The worst part about it is that she tried to make me, feel kind of like jealous at some point, She'd go off with, like, ex-boyfriends. Like, I'm not going to go with you in the car. I'm going to go with my ex-boyfriend. And I was like, yeah, go for it. I don't care. Later on, she's like, how can you chase after me? How can you chase after me? I'm not going to chase something, that doesn't want me. Forget it, You can take a hike, especially with your ex-boyfriend. What do I care? And then when she saw that, I pretty much could care less who she went with, that she started cutting on her arm. And I told her straight up, when I saw her those things on her arm, I told her, you know what? You don't need a boyfriend. You need therapy.
Certainly true.
Mm-hmm. Man, some women out there, they're just nut jobs.
Now, did you ever have sex with her?
Which one?
The one who carved fat and ugly in her arm.
Both of them, yeah, both of them. She took her virginity. She was a Mormon girl, and, supposedly, kind of prudish and didn't want to do much, whatever, but... Yeah, within a week, I already had it in the sack. It's just, like I said, she heard me talking about sex and, about other girls or whatever. And next thing you know, she got really interested. And I ended up hooking up with her in a little Mini Cooper for the first time outside of the college parking lot.
I think that is fantastic.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Dad, what's cracking? How you doing?
Somebody's ass as soon as I get out of here.
Damn, boy.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Are you in a situation where somebody just wants to ruin a good thing? It's Ryan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Dad, what's going on?
Not much, son.
You were saying earlier, there was a caller a couple earlier, I don't know, anyway, I'm wondering about why do you find it, do you find it enjoyable that you're, causing mental stress to women?
I cannot cause mental stress. Mental stress is self-induced.
Well, why do you enjoy, bringing pain? You said that you want to see the pain that you cause, see them cry, and, that you want to...
Well, it's not pain that I caused. You're misquoting me here. It's not pain that I caused. It's pain they're blaming me for, but I'm not to blame for that pain.
Okay.
Let's say, I'll give you an example. There I am, I've got a friend with benefits, and we're banging it out all the time. Okay. And then one day she comes to me and she says, but I want more. I love you. And I say, look, sister, hit the road. Hit the road, because you know what? You're a friend with benefits, that's all you are. I can't believe you're saying that. I did not cause that pain.
I see. But do you enjoy when someone's in pain like that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
because they are delusional.
Oh.
And they are trying to get me into their delusion.
Right, and you don't have it, and I see that. I mean, I totally get that, but okay. I got nothing, man. All right, just take me out with a bong hit.
Here you go. He collapsed like a house of cards. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Frank on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello, Frank.
You forget it's Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank, okay?
Yeah, okay. I got to tell you that this broad, man, she's a psychotic chick from Bakersfield. And I was going out with her on and off. Like, I used to see her only once a week, like on the weekends, just to bang her, and that's it. And all of a sudden, she went psycho on me, dude. She started, like, giving me calls like, Fred, what the hell is wrong with you? You're driving me crazy. My mental stability is being affected. I have 2 daughters, man. You can do this to me. Oh, so I found out what she wanted. She wanted me to marry her, take care of her kids, which I told her, you know what? You can go and F yourself, you know? Straight out. She didn't like it. The next day she called me with a friend of her or boyfriend, I don't know. And homeboy is like, hey, you're Frank? I'm like, yes, I am. He's like, well, I got to tell you, you better leave her alone, dude. I'm like, who are we talking about? He's like, oh, no, me. I was like, dude, you got it all wrong. She's the one bugging me, not me. So ever since I haven't even talked to the chick, it's like, dude, she's a straight-ass psycho, man. I live in Long Beach, in Bakersfield, so that's the reason why I just only see it, like, on the weekends, you know? But from now on, I'll tell you what, cheek the dust card, man.
I love you for that, but it's zero tolerance, boys. Zero tolerance. We had to hit the old dump button there, but I like your style. You just can't use the F word on the air. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Are you with someone who wants to ruin a good thing? Gene on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello. How you doing, Tom?
Great.
Hey, first time listener here. I just found out about your radio show yesterday. Now, your subject was pretty much get the real, man. But I had a question. Now, I'm 27, and I met this woman. She's about 36, about 10 years older than I am. And when I first met her, it was I kind of assumed it's going to be like a sexual relationship. But we started hanging out a lot, going out. We had a lot in common. But we get into a lot of arguments because she feels as though the window's closing on her because she's getting older. She wants to find somebody to settle down with. So we argue about that, and then we make up, have great makeup sex, make up, and then after a little while, it goes, it's nice and cool. And we argue again about certain things like I'm too young or we don't understand each other, this and that. With that situation, what would you do? Should we just forget about it and avoid all the headache, all the arguments?
Well, the next thing she's going to do is get pregnant. You know that.
She can't. No, she already had a kid when she was 18. She doesn't want any kids. She doesn't like kids. She only had that one kid. Tied her. She got.
How old is she now?
36.
So the kid is 18.
The kid, she's about to be 17.
All right.
The kid's about to turn 17 this year. She doesn't like kids, so she told me from the beginning that she doesn't want kids. I don't have any kids yet, and I eventually do want kids, but I'm not really in a rush.
I don't blame you.
But eventually I do want them, but she doesn't want kids. She let me know that from the beginning. So we're kind of going in different directions here, but we actually enjoy spending a lot of time, and like I said before, the sex is good too.
Yeah, but I have no tolerance for the arguing and the recriminations. Mm-hmm. None. I mean, it should be just fun.
But don't you expect arguments though? Shouldn't that come with the territory?
No, I don't tolerate. The thing is, they don't come with the territory if you say no.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I say no to that. Zero tolerance policy.
Mm-hmm.
There will be no arguing. There will be no nagging. There will be no jealousy. There will be no haranguing. There will be no critiquing or criticizing.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like it, hit the road.
Okay. So with my situation, you would pretty much end it.
I wouldn't tolerate that stuff.
Okay. Makes sense.
I mean, if you have game, you should be able to get other chicks.
Yeah, true, but I'm kind of getting to the point where I don't want. I'm getting tired of chasing girls all the time. Me and my friends.
Why would you want to be with someone? Why would you want to be with someone who's 36?
Well, you think that's a huge difference in age?
Of course, yeah. When you're 31 and she's 40.
Yeah.
When you're 35 and she's 44. When you're 41 and she's 50. Yes.
So just keep it like a sexual thing and just end it.
Of course.
Makes sense.
You deserve to have someone hotter and younger than you are.
That makes sense.
Why would you settle for less?
Okay. Sounds
all
good.
Right.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. Brian on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Brian.
Good to hear you.
I know.
I was just calling about when you were talking about somebody who wants to ruin a relationship. About 9 years ago, I was married to a girl. I thought I did it all right, thought I had tested her, lived with her for 3 years, see if she'd unravel at the edges, lose her mind, that kind of stuff. And she passed all the tests. Day after I married her, lost her mind. So she held up pretty good. She had a pretty good representative. And so I tried to hold it together. I foolishly thought, well, I don't want to give up on my marriage right away, see if I can make it work. And she was definitely one of those people that would go to any lengths to sabotage her own relationship. She would do the first. I find out after being with her for 3 years, never seeing any sign of it before. Find out all of a sudden she's a cokehead. Just out of the blue, come home one day and she's acting weird, and I'm like, what's up with you? And she's like, I ran into a friend and he gave me some cocaine, and I'm like, oh God, here we go. So what I did was I tracked down all of her friends that had that issue and pretty much told them, if I ever see her on cocaine, I'm not going to yell at her, I'm going to come look for you. So I put an end to that. Then she got a meth problem. And on. In the end, it ended up with gambling, online gambling at casinos, and just continued on and on. But her big thing when I would call her out and pretty much check her on all her bull, I would say, if this keeps up, I'm done. I'll just file for divorce. I don't need this. You're going to bankrupt me. And she'd say, well, I don't know what I do without you. I'll kill myself. And I would immediately go into my drawer, load my .45, cock one in the chamber, set it on the table, and say, make sure to point it at your brain pan, because you don't want to go in through the back of your neck and live it. And, of course, she never called me on it. She never did it. But, I used to always, and she'd do it all the time. And I would always say, sorry, empty promises, empty promises. That was my relationship. I finally did.
How long did you tolerate that?
I put up with that for about 4 years.
You're kidding me. Why?
Because, unfortunately, I was brainwashed. Single mother. I got out of it. Don't worry. Enough pain will take away brainwashing. So one day I went home without her knowledge. I had filed for divorce, and I had my lawyer call me and say, yes, you're going to be served today at work. And so I went home, packed up everything that meant anything to me that I brought into the relationship, and out I was. And never saw her again. I only had one conversation with her on the phone. She called me up and said, why are you doing this to me? Cry, cry, cry. And I said, well, here's the deal. You have a choice. You can sign that divorce paper and keep the car, keep your grandfather's house that I bought, and put the addition on. You can keep all your little toys, all the furniture, everything. You keep it all. If you sign the paper right now without questioning it all, without fighting it, if you fight it whatsoever, I will draw this out as long as I can. I will make you sell every piece of property you own. I will make them sell every piece of property I own, and we'll split the money down the middle. And, of course, she signed the paper and never heard from her again, which...
of course.
It came down to it was, I was trying to figure out how I was going to do it, how I was going to, what I was going to get out of it, and it was just, I was boggled. My friend looked at me one day and he says, well, tell me this, what's the price of happiness? And I was like, it's, priceless. And he was like, exactly, so run. And so I ran. And on another point too, your earlier aggro caller who was saying, you know, why are you insinuating? The word is instigate. Get a dictionary.
Of course. Thanks a lot for the call. I appreciate it.
The Tom Leykis Show.